I just want to be a bitch, okay?
Well,
I just want to leave. I want to find myself. And the bitch, you're so big. I don't see how you could get lost. So,
that's funny.
no, it is funny. So let me see. Hey, I just want everybody, well, whoever. This is just a fascinating time. Um, again, it's going to be interesting. Wow, you know what today is?
August 10th.
Yes. Let me check. I'm pretty much certain I'm correct. We can have a conversation on it. It's either today or it's tomorrow. I think it's within the next. It's either today, tomorrow, or the day after. Let me check. I don't want to say anything that's wrong because I'm not trying to be the smartest nigga in the room, if there is such a thing. Uh,
Hmm, hmm,
but
hmm.
let me see. Here it is. No. Oh wow! Look at that. That's not what I want. I'm looking for Safari. Come on, Safari. I want to do something else. I want to look for, here it is, Google, and I think we're very close to it. There it is. It should be close to it. Okay, it's tomorrow. This is the day before. This is the day before. So, wow.
The
Today,
birth of hip hop.
no,
Yesterday, the birth.
no, no,
Tomorrow,
no,
the birth.
no, no, no. This is a Watch Riot.
Oh, the Watts riots. Oh man.
August 11th.
Yep.
And it's the 11th. I'm always close. It's not. It's the 11th. In fact, this is also the 11th anniversary of Ferguson. So they happen on, well, tomorrow. They happen 49 years apart. Okay, certain people claim I'm psychic because I told people that people gonna go off on the Watts anniversary in 2014, and and people says, okay, well, I don't care. I told you, and then it happened, and ever says, how do you know? I says, don't worry about how I know. I was right. This happens with Jag all the time, right? She says what shit's gonna be before it is, and people sit up and argue. And then when it happens, well, I could have guessed that. That's beginner's luck. I think how many times do
Right.
you have to get the shit right in advance?
Right.
You're channeling something. I mean, niggas are getting horoscopes and shit, and can't listen to people that are for real. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of stupid. It's really stupid. And so there's a lot going on in the world I really love, and something's gonna like hit the fan.
Yeah, I just saw something with Hillary Clinton and the Russians framed an email up saying that she wanted to frame Trump, but that was a lie. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't care. I don't care at this point. My thing is, we're gonna have a very, very interesting time if we're not nice to each other. We don't. I mean, the people, and that, of course, it's not gonna happen. That's too much like, right? But they're gonna mess with people, and we're going to have, this country is going to have a reckoning with itself. It's unavoidable,
Hmm.
right? I mean, what can you do? I can't make anybody love anybody. I can't make anybody. I can live a decent life. I can respect other people. But if other people don't want to play along with that, if they want to be assholes, they want to be racist, they want to be coons and tethers and all this other kind of stuff, then it happens, right? You get a messy situation like what we have. And, you know, what the hell was this? So that's how it goes. And you don't really worry about that. So let me see. And the other thing I was tripping off of, all of the celebrities again. That thing that was blowing my mind again. Justin Bieber running around in his drawers out in public, and, and like I said, God, he must miss Diddy.
Hmm.
Hmm. He must miss Diddy. I was trying to think. That's the last thing I would do if I had been known to have been a minor around a person that is alleged to have taken advantage of other dudes. The last thing I would voluntarily do is be running around in my drawers with the pants
Yeah.
almost stuck in the crack of my ass. I mean, I just wouldn't want to do that. I would, I would be trying to think of something else to put on, something, right? Didn't I send that to you? Did you see that? It's like,
Yeah.
and you're running
Yeah.
around. I mean, so I don't know if he's high, if he's having a relapse. I always wonder, how do people deal with sexual trauma when they've been like dealt with, and I'm just wondering how that's gonna work. Um, that's something else. Is this whole trafficking thing? Are you? What's this thing that you're gonna do on trafficking that's coming up? You might as well just say that out loud for people that are Los Angeles space. There's gonna be a thing on human trafficking where?
Hold on one second.
And you know what? I'm gonna take about 2 seconds. I'll come right back. I'm gonna do something. I'll be right back. Give me all of say a minute. So
Okay, go ahead.
everybody be cool. Be cool. In fact, be patient like black slaves were. I mean, that's easy for some of us. So nothing's gonna change. Just be cool.
Okay, I think Jag, you there? Or you still it says connecting audio? Hold on.
Give me a second.
I don't see. Well, regardless to what, yeah, there's an event that we're gonna a lot of people are talking about. Well, and I think Jag's gonna talk more about this. In fact, I'll let her. Hold on, what's going on here? I'll let her speak on it. I have you admitted. Is it this phone here? Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should be able to. It says did not connect audio. Yeah. No, it's just it's just your visual on this one. You should be able to add the audio. Hold on. Yeah, on my end, it's just your video. Let me see if it says actually start. Okay. No. I know what. Okay. But but for whatever reason, if your audio isn't, why isn't the audio? Hold on.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything on my end.
Okay.
No, you look cool.
All right. I hear a little bit of a voice out there.
No, hold on. We're trying to get Jag's audio for whatever reason isn't working.
What the hell is that?
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I don't know why your audio icon doesn't pop up. Okay.
Do you need them to go out and come back in?
That's what I was gonna see.
Okay.
Go out and come back in.
I'm gonna go out and come back in too.
Go ahead. Okay, it's still just your it still just says your audio. I mean your video, not the audio. Just maybe you just want to do it via phone, because you could do it via phone. I know. I'm saying you could just do it via phone if you want. I don't know why it's not even here for me. It doesn't show your icon.
Wow. So we're being sabotaged. Oh wow.
Something's going on.
Or
maybe I should still with the computer. Oh no, it says connecting to audio now.
Well, let's see.
Didn't do this last time, so this is progress.
Well, I'm gonna just shake my white Jesus up in front there. Maybe he can help, man. Help us out, right? Yeah. He's a star. Okay. So yeah, white Jesus is gonna get us through this.
Okay. It says it's a setting. Kat was telling you it's a setting. You have to click on your setting. But regardless of what, just if you want to just call in or do it via phone, you can.
Alright, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, because this is just getting on my nerves now.
Yeah.
But I don't see. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, I'll send it to you via.
No, it's not giving me many options here. On it.
No, I'm sending it to you here. But you should already have the email. Yeah, whatever. Maybe it's just something with the settings. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Oh, it's some shit. All right, let me hang up so I can join.
All right. Server. Okay. There you go.
Can you hear?
Yep, perfectly.
Okay. Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead. Yeah, you there? You hear me?
Who, me or Jag?
Oh, Jag.
You know.
Because I hear her.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So the headphones.
Just leave the headphones. We'll get you some new ones.
Nothing is cooperating. And why does everything sound so low?
Sounds
Turn
familiar.
it up.
Hello?
Yeah. You hear me?
Okay, finally. Yeah, I swear, it's like everything is trying to stop progress of the movement going on here.
Oh, yeah. Well,
My goodness.
oh, it's supposed to do that, babe. It's supposed to do that. It's not supposed
This don't want to work. That don't want to work. This work. That work. Everything will work. Work. It's it's madness.
Oh, it sounds like a no good black man.
Oh my good, or a vice mayor. So, you know,
or a vice president, or a congressional black caucus member, or a Kojic bishop, or a pork chop feminist.
Recording in progress.
Or a human trafficking thing, or an Epstein file release. Nothing's working like it's supposed to.
You know, I'm starting to just lose hope a little bit. Like I'm ready to just give hope a middle finger.
Well, you should have already done that with some grease on it at least.
And you know, hey, welcome. And just so everyone knows, this meeting is being recorded. We had a really progressive conversation the last time we were here. And guys, please forgive me if I'm not cammed up right now. Life is weird. It was a weird Saturday full moon night leading into a Sunday. And as I'm starting to look, I'm glad that we're creating this space, because there's a lot of things that I have to say about some stuff that's going on. And when we were talking, our last conversation, and this is, this rescheduled part 2 of that conversation, we were just talking about how filthy, humanity has become, and the fatigue of it all. And I saw 2 things that I really wanted to address today, and have an out-and-out conversation, but have a real full-on conversation with Dr. Short, because I always appreciate his opinion. But there's 2 things happening with 2 young women right now. One is 25, one is 18. And I think it's all symptomatic of everything that we were already talking about in this conversation. Sha'Carri Richardson and Little Tay. Are you familiar with either one of these?
I know the first one. When you start hearing this hip hop, little this and small that, you don't know if they're talking about their genitalia or who they are. I thought they stopped doing that with Lil Stevie Wonder in the 60s and so forth. Like it was Michael Jackson, not Little Michael Jackson. So no, I don't know the second one.
Okay. So Little Tay is a little girl who's been on social media. She's grown up on social media. She just turned 18. Little Tay wanted to be famous. She wanted to be a rapper. I know she had a big following on TikTok. As she started to get older and her body started to mature, she started joking about how she couldn't wait to be on OnlyFans, whatever the case may be. Well, she finally turned 18. And I mean, when I tell you she's been on social media since she was like 9, 10 years old, I mean, she was, she was going to be a rapper. She was going to be this, she was going to be that. And she wanted to be rich. She wanted to be famous. She wanted to get that money. Well, yesterday, she became a millionaire. She made $1 million in just a few hours so that she could show her 18-year-old, I just turned 18, naked body. And she actually she was excited and got on social media. I made $1 million in just a few hours on my OnlyFans, and I turned 18. Look at me, and whoopty whoopty whoop. And then she made a comment where she said, and I want to thank you to everyone who pre-ordered for this back in 2018.
Damn.
Yeah. You sound speechless. Dr. Short?
No, I'm not speechless. I want you, when you talk to Karen, Big Mom in Chicago, to talk to her friend Kalia, who is Muhammad Ali's second wife, for her to tell you personally that Muhammad Ali started chasing her when she was 10 years old.
That's always a rough conversation. And I wanted to...
She's got a book. She's got a book.
She has a book.
There's a book. It's on Amazon. And so, I have big plans for you. There are a whole bunch of people that could get down with Jaguar, and we're not going to let people isolate you. This is a conversation I have with Wolfgang if I don't talk to you. Since, I don't have to talk to the star. I'll talk to the producers. I'll talk to the makeup person. What could I do to help advance the truth? So Kalia, she's going all over the country. And so 10 years old, it's a grown man. And it's like there's this guy who, I won't say who, but I'll just say that I see this kind of stuff all the time, even in church. Someone looking old, dirty man looking, she's going to be hot in about 5 years. You're already sexualizing the child, man. I could imagine what kind of bus line she's going to have. You know how they have futures for corn and pork bellies? Well, we have it for pussy, ass, and tits.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
And I was a young woman who was sexualized, and I didn't realize it. You know, that's the funny thing. You don't realize it until you're an adult, and then you see them doing it to your children or to your nieces and your nephews. When it's happening to you, it's a little different, especially all depending on the attitude of the women that you have around you, the women in your family, the men in your family. My father was never jive with any of that stuff, which is why everyone in the family kept everything a secret from him, because they knew if my dad found out, he would go World War II and people would start disappearing. So, you know, my mother, she was very big on keeping secrets, and it's kind of wild because when I think back to it now, how much it was normalized in my mother's family. You know, that's part of the reason why they all turned against me when I started speaking out about what was going on. You know, it was okay in their eyes for 20-something-year-old men to be looking at us, to be talking to us, to be buying us things and stuff like that.
And it's not just men, it's little nasty old women that be kissing on the little boys when they're 3 and 4 years old. Oh, girl, I'm gonna get me some of this. Oh, he's gonna be so hot. No, I mean, basically, we're dishonest about how much pedophilia and stuff is in the Black community. I'm fucking sick of it. I talk about it, and you're not. I know a lot of people that don't talk to me, and please continue not to talk to me. Okay, if your family, you're listening. Because if your dad screwed you, if your mama let your dad screw you, and you haven't gone to get help and you're like in your 50s and 60s, damn you. And you let this shit go on another generation or so. Or what my great-grandfather, my great-grandfather was basically a pedophile. He had to have been. So my great-grandmother was screwing a married man when she's a child. So, yeah, I said it. And died young, died at 24. So, you know, I don't want to hear, okay? I really don't want to hear, right? In fact, I need a calculator. Let me get a piece of paper and try to make certain. But I think he's a pedophile. If he wasn't, he's close to it. I mean, it's too close to the edge. And this has been going on a long time. And this was going on during slavery. We bitch about it when we say the white man did it. But what about when our white man is the Black man or Black woman? Niggas, please don't piss me off. I don't care if it's Sunday. I'm a Sabbatarian anyway. You may be praising God today. I did it yesterday. That's probably why
Shabbat Shalom. Happy Sabbath was.
It was yesterday. So y'all have the wrong day. I do what I want today. Okay. Yeah. Let me see. I think she died 1924. And let me see. My grandfather's born in 1918. Right. So let me see how many years was that. So he's about 6 years old. And let me see. She was born in 1924, and she was about 20 years old. Oh yes, she's 14. Yes, so that means he was screwing her when she was 13. My great-grandfather who died early. Real talk. And,
I mean,
and my great-grandfather,
so common.
My great-grandfather was a hoe. And the family name, the people who are real hoes in my family, where the men are assholes and shit, the last name is Gray, Gray. If you meet a person, a Black dude with the last name Gray, run. They treat women like shit. They're assholes. They're psychotic. They're cruel to children. They will fuck a child. They will fuck adults. my grandfather, such a whole Bessie Smith she would be straight because he would drop the pipe and she, then she'd probably be mad at him, go back to women when she left town. Yeah, if you hear the name Gray, run, run, run.
I mean,
It runs in
my
families. It runs in families.
My
It runs in
grandmother,
families.
she was, her whole childhood, everything was all torn upside down.
Mm-hmm.
When she married my granddad, it was when she was 18. And he married her to get her off the streets. She had already been through all kinds of stuff, and from what some of the family members said, she was prostituting to survive, things of that nature. She had got thrown out of the house because she wanted to get married when she was young to a guy that was closer to her age. She ran away from home to be with him. Of course, that didn't work out. She was out there in the world, and she had already had quite a rough time and had been involved with some really terrible people. So my grandfather was, 52, and he married her to give her a home, give her a name. And, she was just caught. She was trapped in that mindset. And even the man that she ended up with after she left my grandfather, that was the worst of it. He made good money. He worked down at the Naval Shipyard in Philadelphia, and he had enough money for a decent house, and he had enough money to take care of her. And she had 8 children. 5 of them she had with him, and the other 3 were claimed by my grandfather, even though they weren't all biologically his. So when she ended up with Matt, it was that was the beginning of the end for her. And at 39 and a half years old, he blew her brains out.
Wow.
On my uncle's 6th birthday.
Wow. And my grandmother died at 40. The numbers range from 6 to as many as 18 back alley abortions.
My grandmother lost a lot of children too, but mostly from physical violence. Mac he would beat the crap out of her. He would rape her in the house in front of the kids. He would do all kinds of things. The problem that I had as I became an adult, so many different members of my family had so many different perspectives. My mother turned my grandmother into like a Madonna, like a figure to be, she was this and she was that, and she tried so hard and she was this. My mother wanted to see the best of my grandmother no matter what. I have another aunt who demonized her, called her all kinds of horrors, told the family that she died from smoking and drinking rather than being honest, because she had been sexualized and became the lover of the stepfather who murdered her mom, the biological children, all of them, and it's, when I look at my mom's family, it's just terrible, and nothing ever really got better. None of them ever got help.
And they never ever deal with it, and they don't like anyone that talks about it.
No, but they encourage all of the sick behaviors. I've watched it carry over onto some of, my little cousins and stuff who were sexualizing and molesting each other and things of that nature. And the funny thing is the only kids that were doing it were the ones who spent time alone with Daddy Mac, which was what his name was. I don't know how you let a man who molests children, who watches pornography and pays high school girls to come and give him fellatio twice a week.
So he's a good humor man.
Like that babysit your children.
So he's the good humor, a Diddy good humor man back in the old school.
Exactly.
That's disgusting.
Exactly. So for me, watching everything that's happening in pop culture, I get it, I understand it, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking. People are not paying attention to all of the people around Diddy whose mouths have been closed about the kind of stuff that he's been doing. And the reason why is because either they've been affected by it, or they've covered for him, or aided and abetted him.
Or silence pays, or so people think.
Yeah.
If I keep my mouth shut, I can get this or that. I'm just not going to be involved. I want to direct this towards the ignorant Black people listening. Why do white people go along with racism and injustice? Because it doesn't impact them, or at least they don't see how. So they're silent. They pretend it doesn't happen because it's not messing with their bottom line. Are we any better towards one another? The answer is no. We don't see, we don't speak, we don't address. I'm thinking about the bishop. I'm going to say this. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but a certain apostolic church, which has a branch in Philadelphia. Are you understanding me, Jaguar? That started in the late 50s. And have a
church, what church of God in Christ?
No. They're not apostolic. They're Trinitarian Pentecostal. Apostolics are Jesus only. Apostolic, okay. And so come on, you got to hold on. Let me get get with the program. There's a big fight in Black holiness circles over just in the name of Jesus. And then they're Father, Son, Holy Ghost Pentecostal people. And there's a big fight. They're both freaks, okay? Okay, they're freaks. Let's just be honest, right? And it doesn't really matter how you slice it because they're freaks on all sides. But I'm thinking about the great bishop in a mid-Atlantic city. One son dies on drugs. Another son is gay. A daughter is gay. And one daughter dies right after the father when the brother is caught in bed with another man and throws the wife out that caught him. People that know what I'm talking about, and I don't love the family. Do not hate the family at all. Something happened that you have 4 kids and you had 3 strikes and you're out. So the one that's okay. But what happened with a druggie, a stud, and the queen?
Well, they're always covering for the ones who are trust me, I know.
I didn't say names, so you can't accuse me. For you that know who I'm talking about, and by the way, I like them all. I don't hate anybody. I'm just saying something happened. Something happened. And I've seen this in other, like there's a complete, you'll have a great mother or father, a great this or that. This is why I look at TD Jakes. I'm more concerned about Jakes. We haven't even talked about Shitty. I talk about Jakes because that's supposed to be morality. That's supposed to be God. That's supposed to be a place of healing, restoration, salvation, and so forth. And it's more often not than it is, and it could be. You don't have any discussion of.
If you ask me, Dr. Short, it's a trap.
It's not just a trap. It's a Ponzi scheme brothel. Okay.
Yeah.
And they don't even have tampons in the restroom in most of these churches or condoms. I mean, at least give all the money you put in them bitches. You should at least get something.
Yeah, well, I mean, we already know the bottom line. A lot of these churches are to get paid, and
it is to get paid. And the only one I halfway respect is Love Alive at Walter Hawkins. They had a little place for all the choir members that had AIDS to die. At least they looked out. I got to give the LGBTQ folks who are not necessarily on the right side of God, but at least in Oakland, they took care of the victims of the bullshit going on. I saw places where your choir director would get AIDS, and then the people would shun the person. But you boogied off that nigga for 20 some odd years. You knew how he was. You looked the other way when the organist took a liking to someone else's kid, had him sitting on the slab, and
and nobody wanted to act like that was strange in any way.
No, that's not strange. And then when somebody gets turned out, oh well, you know, God's using them. Yeah, the organist is using them too. And it would be the word organ. Just it would be the organist. Anyway. So
I think a lot of people forget that the devil is heavily working inside the church all the time. Matter of fact, he's going to work hardest where God is supposed to be, because he wants to make sure that when people become broken, they don't look to turn back to God.
Because you're mad. I mean, I got supposedly a cousin of mine is the product of a rape within a Pentecostal church, a major Pentecostal church, a mega church. One of my cousins is a product of his mom getting raped in the pastor's study. And that seems to be a practice within a particular major Black Pentecostal organization. You might know which one, Jag. Don't say, because folks start coming after you. You put my church down. Like, I went to one church and the dude's head looked like a bad mozzarella pizza in the back. I think we were talking about when people's scalps look bad because they've taken a lot of drugs to fight the infections they've had from the sex that they've gotten into. Like I said, you want to know who someone is, look in their damn medicine cabinet, right? If you see a bunch of shit with VIR at the end, VIR, that's some retroviral shit. That person's got some STD up in them, and not a little bit. You know, you could like cyclovir and all that shit. That's oh shit. Just look in the medicine cabinet. You know all about that person. Oh shit. I'd like a plastic fork, please. Plastic everything. You know, I just don't like. You don't want to use the same fork. Just saying. Look, and my cousin from North Carolina, where all this bullshit. I mean, I'm telling you, some nasty people from North Carolina. I mean, that's where the drug kingpins come from. People think that this stuff started in the big city. The plantations and all this stuff they were just basically freak offs with a whole bunch of manual, repetitive agricultural labor. Okay, so more work and more sex too, and no pay, right? That's what the plantations were. I mean, people need to. DC is nasty because it's nasty people that started it. Do you really think broke ass George Washington and them weren't breeding slaves? George Mason University, these people were breeding Black people like you breed chickens and shit. Long before Frank Perdue and Tyson, these people were breeders. Thomas Jefferson did some breeding his whole ass. And by the way, Thomas Jefferson's a mulatto. Black people have always been on this, whether they were passing for white or whatever. We've been nasty a long time, a long ass time. And
well, that's the thing. That's the biggest, projection of it all is that, oh, that's what they do. We're not like that. It
bullshit.
Just happened to us.
Bullshit. Nah. No, we do it too. And they can say they don't have it in African. That's what, like, a motherfuck Pan-Africanists. Fuck all of y'all. You're liars. Pedophilia is all over Africa. Big time. Okay. Big time. In fact, maybe this Africans fuck kids.
And
yes,
incest.
They do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I can't stand these people. We done had no homosexuality in Africa. Have you talked to Africans? You fucking liars. I mean, so this is just what white people. What I'm so. I hate when white people do it. I especially hate when black people do it. It's stupid. It's wicked. Like this is what these little dumb fuck people will try to tell you, that everybody had a hard on for pussy until they crossed the Sinai Peninsula, and all of a sudden they wanted to fuck someone in the ass. Bullshit. Oh well, the Greeks got everything from the Egyptians. It says, well, then they must have gotten gayness from them too. No, they didn't get that. That just comes. Oh, come on. And so they'll talk about the Moors going over to Spain and all of this, and well, if black folks were kings and queens in Europe, when the folk were fucking pigs and everything else, that meant you presided over people fucking pigs, right? So basically, you were boule in Europe. It's still black people, since you want to claim. I just hate this. That's why I kind of like the whole Bible. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God, instead of, well, because of melanin, I couldn't molest a child because of melanin. It makes, oh God, the nastiest, vilest people I know talk all this melanin and Egypt shit. And in fact, a whole bunch of folks get into all that stuff so they can be whores. Notice with all this stuff with Diddy, have you heard from any of these melanin motherfuckers? Have you heard from any of these Afrocentrics? The people supposedly so our proud history in Egypt. The pharaohs were fucking brothers and sisters. The ones that they want you to look up to. You ever looked at how deformed they are? This shit is integral to the human condition without the intervention of God. I hate to get holy and shit up in here, but damn. So please don't come. I got a family full of freaks, and they don't talk to me either. Jack, fuck them, die off, shit, and don't and shit. You know what? I'll leave this house to fucking my cat Selfish before I will anybody that's quiet about this shit, especially about the family member that used to be a nymphomaniac, and all your kids are in and out of jail, and grandkids in and out of jail, and y'all got babies everywhere, and God forbid what's going on. And the nigga that stepped on me to come in and fuck you when I was about 5 years old, and y'all yelled at me for getting up because the nigga had his boot in my back. What the fuck? You go to your funeral, I'll go to mine. I mean, we're supposed to piss on ourselves on the project department floor as to not disturb if you got two niggas that you doing at one time. I don't care. I don't care if people change religions and names and shit. I remember every single fucking thing. I mean, every single damn thing y'all did. I seen it. I heard it. I remember it. And as long as you don't confess it, shit. So please don't call me. Please be afraid of me. Yeah, I'm going to tell your kids and grandkids. I may embellish that shit for as long as I've had to hold it. Okay? And it's not everybody, but it's some. And they're very quick to get into these little stupid religions and shit and change names. And I'm Chakra, Osiris, Isis, Lumumba, Akbar. You know that fucker's crazy. Named from 10 different cultures at one time. Never been to any of the countries, never read a fucking book. And excuse me, sister Akbar, Isis, Osiris, Zeus, Bay. Yeah, you got to put the Bay on that shit. Should be bitch. I mean, it's bullshit. And we have all of these dumb. You were better off being hypocrites in the church, stealing potato salad, stealing chicken and shit, taking food out the church social hall, commercial kitchen back door, and not giving it to the people. They're going off into a goofy, stupid, dumbass cultic religion, and y'all smoking just as much weed as you were when you were hypocrites in and out of the church. Okay, so again, fuck you very much. We gonna tell the truth up in here, and pedophilia is an epidemic. You'll never hear from any of these so-called black positive type people these social problems. I think I was going to say to you, remember Bev Smith? You know, she was supposedly the queen of black talk radio. I remember asking Bev Smith, why don't we talk about molestation, rape, abuse? Oh, well, we have to keep everything positive. It says, well, when you have AIDS, are you positive about that? I think that's the last time we had a phone conversation. You know how it is, Jack. If you're for real with these people, they can't stand you. No. You know, what's her name? That big high yellow bitch with the fat mouth. Yes, I called you a fat high yellow bitch. Julianne Malveaux. Yeah, I said it. I called you a Jezebel in the afro, and I told you to your face, go to hell. There was a container full of black women that they found up in Delaware, maybe about 7 years ago. I raised this issue in a room full of important black women, including Martin Luther Queen, aka Bernice King, was there. I think she was there. She was mean to me, maybe because I'm a man. And she was walking with what looked like could have been a very close friend, walking with the girth of or gait of Wyatt Earp and shit. She could have had 2 pistols on her hip and it would have been okay, right? I mean, even what happened to King family, god damn, whoo, Jesus. I mean, I'm talking about have a dream, these motherfuckers go straight. I mean, let freedom ring for real. I mean, in fact, maybe it shouldn't ring, because maybe what's ringing is, you know, the doorbell for someone to make a DoorDash for you. It's been nasty for a long time, you know, and yeah. One of the things, if I can bring it to Philly, have you ever run across the FBI thing where Martin Luther King and Clara Ward were doing a threesome with this prostitute? I don't know what city it was in. And apparently she didn't get paid. She went to the FBI on Dr. King.
No, I never heard about that.
Oh, yes. You know, Dr. King was screwing Clara Ward, and Clara Ward was screwing C.L. Franklin. I mean, for a stud, she really liked a lot of dudes. But, you know, her mother, who looked kind of butch-like, her mother kind of looked like the actor, I forget the actor, who played Alex Haley's father in The Roots. You know who I'm talking about? Gertrude Ward. Oh, good. I got this fly. Gertrude Ward looked like this dude, but with the old churchwoman hats and such. And that's why they're probably singing "Pack 'Em Up." They're probably packing them. But you know, yeah, Clara Ward was not Clara Ward, but yeah, Clara Ward was a lesbian. My cousin was telling me about that and how she could drink a whole 5th of gin straight and still do a gospel music performance. So this is what I'm saying. I talked to you about Hollywood.
How many of the old gospel singers were stone cold alcoholics? I was shocked when I found out.
Oh God, all of them. Mahalia wasn't a druggie or any of that, but then people said Mahalia swung both ways, and so that makes you wonder what "move on up a little higher" meant. But I hope not, because I love Mahalia. But I don't think she was a druggie or any of that. But some of these people are just complete freaks. My cousin, who's no longer living, was just saying Sam Cooke swung both ways. I hope not. I love Sam Cooke. And so I don't claim that. That's what my cousin said. I disagreed with him. But and a lot of people,
a lot of people don't want to be honest about it, but most people in the arts do. Most people in the arts do. I can tell you, from me to everyone that I've known around me, coming up, everything that I watch, most people are bisexual, and it's I don't know if it has something to do with, you know, what's different in people. You know, people who are artists, they think different, they act different, they feel different, they emote differently. So I don't know if it's a genetic code that's been around for however long, but the truth is most people that I know, I'd say at least 85% people that I know who are artists are all bisexual, one way or the other.
I'm glad I'm not that artistic. Let me tell you, this little no good preacher. Did I ever tell you this story? I was visiting assistant pastor. I'll say which church. Fuck it. It's for the freaks anyway. Plymouth Congregational Church. It's on North Capitol and Missouri Avenue in Northeast Washington. No, it's Northeast Washington, D.C., right? And, you know, the pastor's assistant pastor had the nerve. One day, I came through just to say hi. And he said, you know, you ain't so bad for a bisexual young man. I says, what? He says, well, you're nice for a bisexual guy. I mean, so I came over to him. I was in his study, in his desk. I says, you know what? I don't buy anything sexual. Okay. Same way I don't buy your Christian conversion, right? But since you tried to assess who the hell I am, let me break you down. You're a serial adulterer. You are a deadbeat father and child support. Your children hate you. You're on your fourth marriage and you're cheating on the wife you're with now. You cheated on her within the last 2 weeks. Aren't you glad she and I aren't friends? Because I would have told her. We were cool after that. And his dumbass wife kept thinking, I want to bother him. Fuck him. I don't want that dude. One of the last times I talked to him, he's talking about fucking a woman on his pastoral office desk and wondering whether he should fire her or not. I says, no, you need to fire yourself. Shit. I mean, but yeah, this guy's just a complete hoe at the church. I'm trying to figure out what I'm into. And I told him, look, dude, well, what are you doing? Says, what have you ever heard of people that are not doing anything? How about that? And it's like another thing. I had to go off because the pastor of the church, the one that has throat cancer, you know who you are, was trying to set me up with people in the congregation and have people thinking I want them. And so we were in a men's meeting in the church. I says, let me clear the air here. I says, I've never been in a church with as many unattractive people as this one. This is like the ugliest congregation I've ever been a member of. Just to put that out there. And by the way, you guys are the sorriest ass men I've ever seen. So it's, I don't know. Y'all all must collectively be on some hallucinogenic mushrooms or LSD to think I want to screw anybody in here. Okay. And for the nigga that the pastor wanted me to be the prayer partner with or some other partnership, let me first say to you that you and your kids look like the snakes from the Jackson 5 cartoons, the Rankin Bass little cheaply produced ones with the fucking gaps in your teeth. I'm completely turned off by all of you. I assure you, of the main people I wouldn't want to screw in this church is you and your family. You guys are completely safe until Jesus comes back, or if he doesn't. I don't want a fucking person in here. And this is the last men's meeting I'm coming to because there ain't no fucking men in this room but me. That was the last meeting I went to. Dude looking at me acting paranoid and shit. There's nobody bothering you, pulling your kid away. I'm not bothering your kid. Shit. Right? I mean, and by the way, everybody was cool with the lesbo dyke woman minister there. And that's the other shit. I don't get this about black people. Why is it such a stigma if a man is gay? Oh, That's irredeemable. But a woman being gay is cool. It's like she's avant-garde. She's like, I don't know, like Usher before the rumors came out. She's cool. And I'm thinking either the shit's all good or it's all bad. It can't be like it is in our community where we have this fluidity around.
Well, I think the reason why is because women don't have penises, so they're not as threatening.
I find pussies very threatening, especially if they can squirt back at you.
Oh,
Shit.
you want to know what those?
You know, that's like the invasion of the
something.
killer clams and shit. No,
I saw something. I have to ask Wolfgang if we can share it. Do you have that clip that I sent you? Is there any way we can share it? Because I would like to get Dr. Short's honest reaction.
Which clip? But I can't share anything on here. But which clip?
Of the pastor from Harlem.
Oh, shit. Hold on. That's why I was looking to see if there's any way to like play video, but I don't think. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, because that was hilarious.
I want to ask you, Jag, did you see Justin Bieber walking around in his drawers? I was telling Wolfgang, it's almost like he's preparing the welcome home Diddy party.
I don't think he's interested in welcoming anything home, especially not from Diddy, but he's definitely not well. He's definitely in a bad space. But if you look at all of those kids that were there at the Flavor Camp, all of them, Justin, Jaden, Bashir.
Jaden was there too? Shit.
Yeah.
Will Smith, oh my God, he sharecropped his child out.
Well, allegedly, from word of his former assistant and friend.
You know, if Eddie Murphy
he was doing a lot of stuff with his son, not just farming him out.
If Eddie Murphy and Will Smith were to get married, I'm not saying that's going to happen. Just some being stupid. Man, that would be the biggest wedding in history. But people would have been expecting it too.
I don't think Eddie Murphy would be able to tolerate somebody like Will Smith.
What he couldn't keep him happy, or
I think he would just annoy him.
Okay, I don't have I don't know anything about any of this, so what I have to say is
I don't know why people are still having a hard time understanding how all of this works with these gay men in Hollywood, and it's just kind of crazy because you look at Charlie Murphy and then you look at his brother Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy, without a doubt, the talent, the brains, the ability, all he had the whole thing going. Charlie Murphy was just a real dude that was funny as shit.
I like Charlie. I met him once.
But the thing is Eddie always adapted Charlie's masculinity as his own. Like if you look at the way he acted in movies, the way he talks, even the way he talks in his normal self, he's himself. He was a much more tamer version of Charlie Murphy in that masculine heterosexual energy that he had. But you would never see Charlie Murphy dressed up in a skin tight purple leather suit. You would never see that. That would never happen.
Well, my dad would say that Eddie was a sister. I'm not saying I loved Eddie Murphy. But when we were young, you adored these people. I still like them for then, but they don't really act well. I don't know what happened. Although I love Norbit, which came out on my birthday. I absolutely adored that.
Norbit was a great film.
Yes, it was. It came out on my birthday, Jag, of all things.
So, Dr. Short, we have this clip right here. It's a podcast. A bunch of young men. I've never seen it before. They got 1 million subscribers. Isn't that interesting?
Okay.
But they were doing some random commentary of this minister, and they were labeling his sermon as black fatigue. So with all of your church expertise and knowledge, I wanted to see if we could get your honest reaction, to this.
Is this the pastor up in New York?
He's in Harlem.
Yeah. I've seen him before. The one that would always make fun of Obama. I loved him for that.
Well, because we know how you feel about Ofaga.
Yeah,
so
thank you. I love the way you say it. It sounds good when you say it.
Let's see how you feel about this commentary.
Did he send you the picture of Michelle, who looked like she was a WWE retiree?
Oh, Lord Jesus.
And did you hear about that before we go? They're now complaining about people throwing dildos on the floor at the basketball games for the WNBA.
No, I haven't heard about that.
It's on the news because there are people assaulting each other with dildos at the games for the WNBA.
Wow.
Well, I don't. I think a woman assaulted a little girl with a dildo, and then they've been throwing dildos on the court, so people tripping over dildos, running up and down, trying to throw a shot.
Are y'all able to hear?
Okay, turn it on. Turn it on.
Yeah, no, we can't hear it.
Oh, okay.
If not, I can turn it on. If you tell me where it is, I'll play it on another device.
Okay, hold on.
Is that on YouTube?
It is. But hold on a second. I think he's going to work it out.
Okay.
Darn color. I'm not about that, but y'all raised it. If you start it, I'll end it for you. Don't start nothing. It won't be nothing. But we got a problem. Black people got a problem. Now we can move to color blindness and always look at the man by the content of his character, never the color of his skin. I'm down for that. You get my vote. Yay and amen. I'm for that. But before we get there, we need to hear some truth. Black people and white folk. Black people got a problem. And it's a God problem.
It is a God problem.
When black people see the world, I don't care. You can train them. You can train a black man to be a physician. You can train him to be an astrophysicist. You can train him to be a lawyer, but you can't train him to understand the world. He doesn't know. I'm telling you. There's not 2 cents worth of difference between a mass murderer. There's not 2 cents of difference between a petty thief that's locked away in prison than a black doctor when it comes to understanding the world. Listen.
That's crazy.
We got to deal with this. And we need to begin to acknowledge it, talk about it, ask God to help us, because only God can help black people where they are. Black people had Africa, that big old continent over there. They never built one boat that was seaworthy. Not one.
Oh, shit.
There's not one monument in Africa, in all of Africa. I know you're talking about Egypt. Egypt is not Africa. There are no great cities that were built. Even before the first colonization of white people coming to the shores of Africa or the slave ships, black men built nothing. No sewer system, no houses above one level, and none of them made out of stone, all of them made out of grass and wood. Black men, before the white man ever got to Africa. The worst thing that could ever happen to South Africa was when they gave it to Nelson Mandela and black folk. That was a great nation. Now, notwithstanding apartheid was wrong, we all know it's wrong. I'm against it. There should have been some other resolution, though, than turning it over to Nelson Mandela. disease, AIDS, and crime is running wild in Johannesburg. They're killing one another over there. They're dying of sickness. The government is mismanaged. The people who ran the nation are now leaving the nation because black folk don't know how to run no nation.
That's crazy.
They don't know how, and we need to admit it. I know you don't like it, but you need to stop shucking and jiving. We got a problem. Nigeria produces oil every year, yet the children over there are hungry and pot-bellied and walking barefoot. We got a problem. You talk about the Hutus and the Tutsis. Look what's going on in Zimbabwe now with Mugabe. We got a problem, black folk. And forget about Zimbabwe and South Africa, Nigeria. Look at what y'all have done in Harlem. You can't even hold on to Harlem. We got a problem. Black folk don't understand the world. You can get mad with me all you want. You can say what you, but you can't prove me wrong. Now, I'm not saying this because I hate black folk. I'm saying it because I love you enough to tell the truth. And the only person going to ever help us get out of the situation is going to be God. There's something wrong with the black man's mind. There's something wrong with his mind. He does not understand the world. He doesn't. I don't care if he learned medicine. He does.
He said they don't understand the world. I don't care if you understand medicine. Wow.
Let's hear the rest of it.
Astrology. So what is she writing down?
I don't know, bro.
I need white
So
Jesus
really,
to listen to
the
this.
old people in the back is funny too. Oh my God,
Both
bro.
of them behind them writing stuff down.
They just sitting there like, man, they just sitting there. Like, that's
Taking
crazy.
notes. This is crazy.
Oh my goodness, bro.
I wonder what the crowd was like.
Oh man, me too, bro. It just, oh man. I'm not gonna lie, guys. We were arguing about this a long time after our first Nick Fuentes video. We was arguing about this probably for hours about black people.
This
black
dude
people.
definitely knows white
A lot of
Jesus. The
stuff.
preacher that was
People
just
saying I
speaking.
was wrong for my comment, but I want people to prove me wrong on basically what nation or what can we say that we have built community-wise to prove this point for being right. That's why I can't. It's just funny because I'm just laughing off the truth he's saying. Because you also, they brought us over here into these, well, okay, tax dollars built these communities, and they just gone into shits, bro. So it's just hard to argue this shit, man, but this shit's funny,
It's going pretty hard.
It's going hard as hell, bro.
But
hey,
I'm going to let him finish.
Yeah, this shit's so funny,
I
bro.
want to collect my thoughts.
No, I'm not saying this because I hate black folk. I'm saying it because I love you enough to tell the truth. And the only person going to ever help us get out of the situation is going to be God. There's something wrong with the black man's mind. There's something wrong with his mind. He does not understand the world. He doesn't. I don't care if he learned medicine. He doesn't understand the world. He can't even hold on to Harlem. When he was here, he moved out. So we got to talk to the Lord.
God, this man is crazy.
People, we got to talk to God.
I saw factor ads everywhere, and I didn't think they would be that delicious. I'll admit it, I was skeptical about ready-to-eat meals.
And black women.
Oh, shit.
Shirley Chisholm, Harriet Tubman, Coretta King, one of her boys. Yeah, okay, then we got a black president. But you black women, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all let that white woman. What's wrong with you black women? Vote for Barack. Don't you understand? It should have been a black room if you're going to have a black president. What's wrong with you? Y'all ain't got no sense, you black women. Your men treat you like the dogs, like your dogs. They walk all over you. They make you pay the bills at home, and then the preachers pimp you in the churches and make you pay the bills. Y'all crazy black women. Buy these black men private jets, the tune of $50 million for a nigga to ride around in a private jet. And you talk about, look at our pastor. What's wrong with y'all women? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And what's wrong with a black man that would take that kind of money out of a poor neighborhood and buy himself a private jet? What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you? I've never heard a pastor go this hard in church.
He said, "What's wrong with you niggas?"
Bro, it's not real.
Hey, this is crazy.
This dude's in New York, bro. He's crazy.
I think he in Harlem, bro.
He is crazy.
He is
Oh
upset.
my god.
You know he's running for mayor right now.
He has some stuff on his chest.
He is running for mayor right now.
He has some stuff on his chest he had to get
Oh
off.
my god, bro.
He been pissed for too long.
Wow.
Hey,
Buy himself a private jet. What's wrong with y'all niggas? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Black women. What's wrong with you? Vote for Barack Obama. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
Oh, wow.
Black people. Let me tell y'all something. If you don't ever hear me say preach again, they can kill me tomorrow. But let me tell you something. We're not going to ever get anywhere until we look into the mind of a black man. He doesn't think correctly. I don't care what he is. He could be a doctor. He could be an astrophysicist. The nigga ain't got no sense. You talk to him. You talk to a black man. He doesn't understand the world. He's never built anything.
Wow.
The most the black people have ever done, they did it here in America under white people's help. When they were in Africa, they didn't do nothing.
Wow.
Dude, it's crazy.
Wow.
Nah, bro.
He
This
was
dude's
pissed.
crazy.
He had a lot to say.
I can't believe what I just watched, actually.
you know what this remind me of?
He said,
Thank you.
never gave South Africa to Nelson Mandela. Black people didn't build nothing. No statues, no monuments. Your mind
Okay,
don't work.
I need
You don't
to hear
understand the world.
Dr. Short's reaction.
Remember that candy? I hated it. It was called Good and Plenty. The candy was good, but it had the nasty black licorice on the inside. I hated that shit. So I remember I haven't had that shit in about 50 some odd years. I will never buy it. I hated it. I bit into it one time. I still remember being disgusted off of Good and Plenty. Now, let's talk about, I forget this nigga preacher's name, but he's clearly appealing to white people. And he's, you know, the problem is you can put some truth in a bunch of lies and it takes away from anything that could be positive. Okay. So let's just start. First and foremost, he said that black folk or Africans have never had a sewer system. And if that's the case, how does he explain his own existence? Because he's a sewer of lies and misinformation. He is a sewer in and of himself. Okay. And that's pretty harsh for me when you're criticizing Obama. Normally, I like you. I mean, I'm gonna love anyone that doesn't like Obama, but I don't love him. Africans did have ships, and he's reflective of a lot of dumb fuck nigger preachers, which is why keep your tithe money. Shit, go to a casino before you give it to that bastard. And I don't like gambling, okay? Just real talk. Even though Cash App accused me of illegal gambling, I don't gamble. I would rather you go to a casino and put in a slot machine than put in a basket for nigger preachers like him, because he's stupid. He's full of black self-hatred. If you hate people, he says he loves black people, but clearly not enough to read a fucking book in his life. And a lot of stupid criminal black preachers like him. They're like an STD. So black people didn't build anything. He mentions Zimbabwe, but doesn't realize Zimbabwe is named for this massive stone structures, a complex, as you know, Jag, that white people tried to take credit for and try to dismiss and all of this. He's so stupid. In fact, he should be institutionalized. He's that dangerous putting that stuff out there. It is, to me, he's crazy. That's not black fatigue. That's classic. Basically, that's sanctified Uncle Ruckus. Okay. So, look, we have problems, just like everybody else does. There's a movie that came out in '94 called The Ref. It's a Kevin Spacey film. Maybe you've seen it, Jack. When I Didn't Hate Kevin Spacey, although I saw House of Cards, I binge watched House of Cards, and I had already thought that before when I first discovered Kevin Spacey as an artist, playing the grown man that wanted to fuck his little daughter's best friend. I think it's called American Beauty.
Yeah, American Beauty.
So how's that beautiful when a grown man wants to fuck an underage girl? So I didn't like Kevin Spacey from the first time I encountered him, okay? But Kevin Spacey plays a dysfunctional husband with a dysfunctional wife. And it's a movie called The Ref. I did a movie date with my friend Ash, who you have to meet, because she could tell you, she was on the thing the other week. We did a movie date, a virtual movie date, where when you can't be with people you like my friend Patty Cakes, whatever, we'll find a movie and we'll watch it at the same time. And it's almost like being next to your friend to get the reaction, because they laugh, oh shit, you saw that, right? Like if you were watching something about Mary and the guy's dick gets caught in the zipper and you're laughing, they're laughing, it's cool, right? But this man knows nothing. Black people built everything. They built the castles in Europe. I mean, they started the Chinese civilization. This man is so stupid. We could spend the rest of this program debunking him, but we had ships, the astrolabe, and the earliest things that allowed people to do international maritime.
Did you hear what those young men said, though? He's trying to run for mayor.
Well, of course, if you hate black people, you get far as a Democrat or Democrat or Republican. There's this book that I think I sent to Wolfgang. I want everybody, if you can, get your hands on this book. It's called The Road to Disunion, written by William Freeling. The Road to Disunion, Volume 2, Succession is Triumphant. And the white people clearly talk about how they're doing everything to break and destroy black families. They just put it all out there before the Civil War, before there was some semblance of freedom for black Americans. All this stuff was out in the open, what people were doing, that blacks had no history, no civilization, we raped them. All of what happens in America, and we can segue to Cincinnati, is that, and I said this in my last live and it offended one of the white people following, and my thing is, fuck you. I didn't say anything that wasn't historically correct. What I said was white folk got 3.6 million square miles of land and didn't lose 10,000 lives for it. That's a hell of a conquest. There are as many as 60 to 400,000 dead Palestinians fighting over Gaza City, smaller than Philadelphia. For them to hold on to their little piece, they've lost anywhere. 60,000 is the lowball number. $400,000 is the guesstimate. 400,000 people. For little teeny tiny Gaza, they've lost scores of thousands of lives for a small piece of land. White American people have not died in the millions for all of what they've taken from other people.
Yeah.
It's so, in reality, white Americans live in a bubble. A bubble, if you read this book again, The Road to Disunion, Volume 2, you know that they had to put laws in the United States because there were white folks who wanted to have slavery in Nicaragua and Honduras. They were just trying to take over countries, have coups, and create a slave system to hold black, to have black slavery, to have it in Cuba, the Dominican Republic. I mean, just on this thing, we're going to just go on with 50 people deep, and we're going to flip over a country and do what the fuck we want. And they haven't lost 2 or 3 million lives. They haven't paid a price in blood for the empire that they got. I mean, you're talking about God's favor and blessing. If it isn't that, they're getting it from someone. You haven't really paid full price. This lady got offended and said, no one's ever given us anything. And I told her, look up the Homestead Act. Free land.
She's right. No one ever given it. They've just taken it.
Yeah, no, but the immigrants that came over, it was given to them. They took it and gave it. They split it up, and sometimes they bought it for pennies on the dollar. For the big rush into Oklahoma to just take the $5 Indian, you lie about being an Indian and you get some of their land and you get to kill them, right? There is an unreality in the mindset of white supremacy, and he is a black white supremacist. So they don't understand the world, not as it really is. They understand it as they imagine it should be. So when you say nobody ever had a ship, how the hell can you say that when the Egypt, and he said Egypt wasn't part of Africa. Okay, yeah. So, right, and yet you got Nubians. He doesn't know what he's talking about. These people are so stupid and so wicked. And by the way, he's like a lot of people at HBCUs and people that are Greek, the Boule people, the Black Greek-led organizations, all of this black self-hatred, which infests the top 10, 15% of the black population. That's why the other 85% are fucked up. Every people have an elite class that guide people. They can guide them in the right direction, or they can be derelict in their duty and the people go to shit. All the stuff he's bitching about in black people is a reflection of niggas like himself that have a little bit. You're bitching about what people, where's your literacy program at your church? Where's your farm? You've been out there long enough. You've been getting YouTube views enough, and you want to run for mayor? I mean, you're bald-headed. You look silly. You don't even sound like a New Yorker. You don't have any of the polish. And then he holds up Shirley Chisholm. Shirley Chisholm supported abortion and LGBTQ, shit you're supposedly against. He didn't even fucking research her. She's a tether on top of that. He's dumb. A lot of, look, people don't read. People don't think, okay? I've been listening to this via audiobook, and I realized I have to have this shit in hard copy so I can read it. I'm going to read this online to my Angry Black Men's Book Club for people to hear. Slavery is based on the war, Civil War. All this stuff is around the subordination of black people. All of the states that left the Union said it's about what we get to do to hurt black people. How can you believe such a people? How can you trust your education of your children to such people? Your food supply, their non-FDA approved vaccines to people who tell you your natural condition is slavery and we'll break up your families and all this stuff. And we know it's wrong and we do it anyway. They can't stop us. Back to Cincinnati, everybody's upset because black folks acted like a group and kicked some people's asses that disrespected them. That sent a slave conspiracy fear in white America. We're going to get busted for the shit we've done. We've issued wolf tickets for hundreds of years and they come due. I'm not advocating for it, but I wouldn't slap anybody in their face. I was saying, I've only hit this cat twice, and cats do shit in 14 years. You know, I don't hit an animal. I mean, my neighbor came over, my mother's friend couldn't believe the squirrels eat out my hand, sit in my lap. I don't mistreat them. That takes a lot for wild animals to trust a human being. You must be nonviolent with people, right? In fact, the motherfucker gets mad, Eldridge, if I don't feed him. If I put it on the damn ground, he look at me like, nigga, you don't trust me. It prefers me to hand it to me. Hand it to her. This man is crazy. He embodies the fucked up bullshit, liar, white supremacist Christianity that turns off people. And mind you, if he doesn't like what he sees in Harlem, if you're really doing something, if you were really about it, and forgive me, I can't remember his name, Massey or something.
Better you don't.
Yeah, this dude, if he were about something, I would have hooked up with him. I would have hooked up with him. I would have been sending him money or telling people about him. But you're full of shit. So you hate black people. You go to the other extreme where you completely blame black people for everything. Mandela, he doesn't even understand. Mandela was an agent of white people. That's why they put him in charge. And Mandela more than likely was bisexual. I said it. Mandela was probably a bisexual communist. He's living with a white gay man for a couple of years. Real talk, Nelson Mandela lived with the gay white dude that worshiped the ground Nelson Mandela lived on, was willing to give his life for it. Now, I'm going to just tell you, you're coming up in a society where you're taught to hate black people 24/7. You meet a black man that blows you away and you're ready to die for him. If you would die for him, why wouldn't you be willing to give him a blowjob? Come on, Jag. Nelson Mandela had a whole bunch of writings and shit that was supposed to be destroyed. This white guy was like his white wife, could not destroy anything that Nelson made, had the shit. And that's how they caught Nelson. All the papers were in the white dude's house. He couldn't destroy anything. Everything that Nelson did was so precious. Okay, are you hearing me?
Oh, I hear you.
Okay, and what did Mandela do? Mandela was the first person anywhere in the world to make LGBTQ constitutionally protected in the world. If you look at how the gay flag looks a lot like the South African flag. Oh, yes. We've been had. And I repeat, Nelson Mandela was in jail. And they could never leave any guard with Mandela. That's the story. Mandela would just change people. How the fuck do you change someone in prison? You keep getting young white guys and they can't be mean. They start doing shit for, come on. It's as old as it comes. The people, the guards go in there and they fuck the prisoners. In South Africa, they're called kaffa kissers. These are white guys that will put themselves in jobs where they can have sexual contact with black people. If you know anything about Robben Island, the big rituals that the white guys got to go on the black men's asses and check for contraband. What kind of man wants to spend his career
Had that kind of job,
digging in a subhuman ape's ass? And that's what you do 9 to 5 is be in black men's asses and their dicks in the land and the mines, diamond mines, checking under their nuts and all group. I mean, what kind of straight man could do that every day? I earn my bread touching another man's penis and his nuts every fucking day.
Do you know what I used to say every time I would be in jail and they would question me about why I was being there and being held? And they would say, oh, well, you know, this is my job and you don't know the stuff that I see every day. And I'm like, but why do you choose to do it? I was like, they make me come here. You leave. You have the option to not come back and you still come back. Why would you choose?
Because people are freaky. And those white South African men got to, and their pictures, you can just look it up, and there's always these pictures of black South African men with their hands up, and the white guys are going through the cracks of their asses and through their penises every single day. And not only that, after, who is the power in South Africa? COSATU, right? COSATU, the miners' union. The president of Ramaphosa was aligned with the miners' union. Okay, those people were locked up 11 months at a time with no women allowed. You had institutionalized mass rape and sodomy is at the core of the black South African resistance. I said it just like that. A motherfuck you if you don't like it. So you take the men and don't let them be around women, and the younger men will get raped and abused by the older people. Oh, hell. Cecil Rhodesia, he's a fag that fucked and hated black men. A lot of this conquest and white dominance is homoerotic brutality and cruelty.
It is.
And so, I mean, and this guy's praising white people going into Africa and he don't like sodomy, he doesn't fucking know what he's talking about. What's the gayest place in Africa? Cape Town. What's the whitest place in Africa? Cape Town. They want their own white homoerotic nation where they can just fuck who they want and be white in charge.
Cape Town is the Paris of South Africa.
And everything else. This is fundamentally vile. So Nelson Mandela completely overrated. And yes, he is. And Nelson Mandela was like Obama. 3 syllables. And they're both queer. Obama, Mandela, both of them did what white people wanted to trick and bamboozle black people. Black folk a broker for having either person being head of state. Mandela was a communist and Obama was a fucking communist, as was his bisexual pornographer real father, Frank Marshall Davis. And his family were communistic CIA people. And who, by the way, made homosexuals part of the liberation struggle? It happened in 1978 when a pedophile, and if I forget his name, it'll come to me, the little white pedophile who was a communist.
Harvey Milk?
No, Harvey Milk was a pedophile too, and he got killed in 78 or thereabout.
Yeah, I remember.
No, it's not Harvey Milk. His name is Henry Hay. Henry Hay was a white pedophile, communist. And the communist movement made gayness a national liberation group. And this is why you'll see, so the gay Marxists, this Black Lives Matter shit with all those lesbo-dyke communists, communism is with gayness and all this other bullshit. Now back to Mandela, it's full of shit, okay? And Pelosi, she's a fucking communist. People think communist people are broke. Communist people are rich. They tell you about what
they pretend that they're not.
They take all the money and let the other people be poor. It's just another system of rich people taking it all. Okay. And they make you think it's a worker state. Bullshit. They're rich people. There were rich ass people in Cuba when I went there. There are rich people everywhere. They're always going to be somebody rich. And they're always going to be broke ass people. But this little lying nigger preacher, that's not black fatigue. That's just pure black self-hatred. And he's pandering to a white audience. In fact, it's the same way a black politician will talk down to black people like O'Faga used to do to black people, or like that little bald-headed, not bald-headed, but that nigga that looks like Barbara Jordan, the mayor of Chicago, Johnson. All of these black politicians are the Edward G. Robinson half-breed bitch, Karen Bass. All little black Democrat or Republican folks to get points from white donors who pay them above their public servant salary is to insult and humiliate black people. Back in the day, it was called niggering. And niggering used to only be done by white politicians. Now, black Democrats and black Republicans do niggering. And some of them are Caribbean, like Byron, what's his name? Byron David, or whatever the fuck his name is. He is a Caribbean that niggers. And Tim Scott, the little punk ass nigga from South Carolina. Oh, let me give you my joke, Jag. What's the difference between Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina and a cotton plant?
What's the difference?
Tim Scott has no balls.
Got it.
If you hear Tim Scott, and I know about that Latino dude, the really nice looking one that looked a little bit like Lou Diamond Phillips, but better looking. That was one of your favorite interns. He was working with you about 6 years ago, Tim Scott, who wore really tight pants. I met him at a Starbucks at DuPont Circle. Tim Scott, you seem so awkward with that little, hobby bitch that you married. And why would you pick a white wife and run for office in South Carolina? Did you really think? Now, those folks will give you a lot of money to say there's no racism in America. But in South Carolina, read a fucking book, Tim Scott. South Carolina is the core of white supremacy in this country, and it has been so for 300 years. For you to be from South Carolina, where there were massacres, where South Carolina would send South Carolinians to other states, like they did when my great-grandfather lived in Wilmington, North Carolina, and when my cousins got massacred in Wilmington, North Carolina, by people from South Carolina, Tim Scott. And I hope that you don't go with Lindsey Graham, although he does look like Murder, She Wrote. What's it, Angela Lansbury?
He does.
Alcoholic one. And come on, Jag. Doesn't he look like a drunk Angela Lansbury?
Oh, no, he does. I
Okay, he
can't
looks.
see him hands down.
Okay, all right, thank you. People say I make this shit up, okay, and I don't. And Karen Bass does look like Edward G. Robinson.
She does.
She does.
They
And
always choose
ugly looking people.
They always choose that type of woman.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard looking. I mean, and I don't know. I guess Karen Bass didn't even need a pro forma black male beard. I mean, you need combat pay to go down on someone that looked like her. And that very small forehead she has. I mean, it's very small.
My Uncle Bobby used to always say when it came to having sex with an ugly woman, throw a flag over her face and do it for old glory.
You know, well, she's never going to have a flag day here. Okay. Just saying. Okay. And we were talking about Michael Eric Dyson's wife. She looks like Tattoo. The plane. She does look like Tattoo. And a lot of these people look strange. It's not my fault, people. You know, it's the same way that Trump is talking about federalizing the DC government. And, you know, the chief of police in DC looks like she's a woman minister. I think she's not married. She looks like James Earl Jones. She does. She does. She looks like
everyone got upset with me when I seemed to let the world know something that I thought everybody knew, that he was homosexual.
Well, that's why he was in the movie Great White Hope. They hope we all turn out like that. It wasn't just him. I mean, George Jefferson. And now we know why he was.
Sherman Hemsley.
Yeah, well, moving on up. Well,
that's a whole nother meaning.
Well, yes. I mean, it just, look, you can't get in. You know, there was a black actor. His name was James Edwards.
You want to know what I never understood? How people didn't realize how strange that looked. His main antagonist in the entire series was a black woman. And all they did was go back and forth. Him and Marla Gibbs, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Well, because
it's funny, because what straight man argues with a woman?
It's not a straight man. Basically, the problem is that she's getting more dick than he was. And that's usually what people fight about, is when you're the same.
No, but like, people really don't pay attention to that stuff. They don't pay attention to those little nuances. And we were just having this conversation the other day because someone was making, they were calling themselves trying to do a critique on a relationship between two people. And what I was trying to explain was, well, he never says this about her, and he never does this, and he never acts like this, and he never acts like that. And I'm like, you know what? Everything he is saying would be right if you were talking about a gay man fawning over a woman. Straight men don't do that.
No, I never got into him. You know, all I can say is, and you know, as I said, my favorite, Little Richard, but you always knew. Just be real with that. You know what I'm saying?
30 more minutes, y'all.
Well, we got 30 minutes. But let's talk about Cincinnati for a minute, because people are all worked up over that shit. And I have to get this off my chest. You need to keep your fucking hands to yourself, no matter who you are these days, right? And
can you give us a little background, because there's some people that might not know exactly what you mean when you say let's talk about Cincinnati.
Okay, well, let's just go back a little. Cincinnati has been the epicenter of anti-blackness in the Midwest for 200 years. Okay. There have been two ethnic cleansings of Cincinnati, Ohio. One in 1829, where all the black people were driven out of town by mobs of violent white people. Again, we're going to come back to mobs of violent white people. And then there's 1841, where 4,000 plus white men mobbed the entire black section of Cincinnati and used cannons to bomb black women and children because they arrested all the black men to get the black people out of town. So before there were Black Wall Streets, black communities were attacked by white people from about 1820, really, to 1920. It's 100 years of white folks attacking black cities and towns. Black Wall Street happened in 21 or 22. I think it's 21, it's 21. Look, that always happened. And Cincinnati leads for the city of its size in the Midwest, leads that region in police shooting black folks, like almost 3 times the average. It's a brutal city. It was a major slave catching city to keep black folks from going north. It's a racist, violent town. Within the last, just about next year, it'll be 30 years that they had a major riot in Cincinnati over police killing blacks. So, and then Rodney Hinton, the one who supposedly ran over the policeman because his son got shot down, and they lied about the guy pulling a gun on the police. In reality, the police shot the folk in the back running away. Nobody noticed that. And so what happened? They had a jazz fest. And some of these white Nazis, for all you fake ass, lying ass, stupid, dumb fuck, black Democratic voting niggas that support the Ukraine, when they may have massacred the black people that were in Ukraine, didn't let them flee. And I knew some black folks that were living in Ukraine. I haven't heard from them since April of 2022. They may all be. A
lot of people forgot about that.
They may all
the stuff that was happening when that first kicked off.
They may all be dead. The Ukrainian Nazis that murdered Jews and attacked black people throughout Russia and in the Ukraine also give money and support and encourage violence against black Americans. If I can bring it to Philadelphia, my cousin, Bill Cosby's son, was killed by a Ukrainian for being black. Yeah. Just make that real for you. I know Bill Cosby eventually ripped some white pussy and some black, well, maybe not as much black. And I will say at least one of them, the woman that looked like the abominable snowman, I don't think that Bill Cosby did that one. So at least at one time, somebody lied.
No, on more than one occasion, because Janice Dickinson lied too.
Yeah, well, I'm saying a bunch of people lied on Cosby. So even if he was a hoe or a molesting hoe, they still murdered his son. And it was a Ukrainian that did it. And these people have been encouraging violence and trying to get white people to kill black people all over the United States. And you dumb fuck niggas that supported Kamala Harris, and y'all supported Joe Biden. They've sent, and a lot of those weapons that have gone to the Ukraine, the Ukrainians have been selling to get people killed where? In your beloved mother country. If you don't know that you got some fucking Native American, or should say Aboriginal First Nation people here, blood in your veins, you dumbasses. Africans are dying all over Africa with weapons that your tax money paid for to give to the Ukrainians that they're not even using to kill Russians. They're using to smuggle dope and kill Africans, kill black people. And don't be surprised that some of the weapons on the street that we're dying from have come from Ukraine. You stupid ass black folks. We deserve a genocide being this damn stupid.
Well, that's the thing. They keep trying to trick us into believing one thing. And that's why I wanted to get your reaction on this minister, because it's clear that he's being paid by someone in the government to carry this agenda in church, and it's dangerous.
Well, but they all look. The black churches are all, and they're the clergy response people. Look, at my feet, Jaguar, on my left, I've got containers because my dad helped set up the clergy response shit with the fucking CIA and the FBI and Homeland Security before he died. I don't think he was trying to do anything bad. The churches work with the state. A lot of nigger preachers are fucking 5-0 sellout niggas. Okay.
Well, that's what I try to get people to understand all the time. That's why every time there's a big election that comes through, you'll have your minister that brings city councilmen through, and we need to vote, and then they do this prayer and a whoopty whoopty whoop. And the truth is all they are is agents for the government.
Yeah, and they push the shot too. And now they're trans friendly. Now they're saying cut your kids' penis and tits off.
All of those
with Jesus's blessing,
that were encouraging people to do the vaccines, that were hosting the vaccines, bringing all of that,
And the preachers were being paid the lowball number for a part-time retired minister was $26,000 as a bottom. That's just a pop for you to go around and just ask people. They threw millions. They laundered money through United Way and gave it to preachers to get and kill off the ministers. There have been funerals in black churches for years since they all got these damn shots. These preachers are the biggest mass murderers. They're worse than the little homies that do mass shootings. As much as I hate that. You talk to any preacher, they've done like 100, 200 funerals a year because so many members in their church died. They massacred. Our people have been mass killed by these preachers. They're the biggest, vilest, nastiest gang. They're worse than the police. At least the police might be able to fight their ass in an alley. Okay, maybe if they take, it used to be in DC, they take their gun off, you could fight them, but not anymore. But back to Cincinnati. They had a jazz fest, right? And these Ukrainians were like just cursing and saying shit to black people. Maybe, they're used to dogging them in Ukraine. Ukraine had a serious racial problem before Russia went in and dealt with their asses. And they've sent these people over here and they put them in places like Chicago and the Midwest to make war on black people. Okay. They've been brought here. Immigration is basically an insurgency against black folks. And I mean, we're all immigrants. Shut the fuck up. So an argument broke out. I guess people didn't like being called nigger, especially with a little funky ass accent. And a lot of Russians don't wear deodorant and shit, so you can smell them. So can you imagine a funky, drunk group of white folks whose, armpits smell like, some vodka and onions and shit. And they're like calling you nigga and shit, and they don't even know what fucking right guard is. And this man tried to calm things down. Black guy came in trying to be a Martin Luther King, and this Russian dude, struck the man in the face that was trying to de-escalate the conflict. And I'm sorry, I don't know if it's the weed people smoking, but maybe this is some black unity weed. All the black folks got together on code and stopped the fuckers out, beat their asses. And white folks are acting like this is the equivalent of Dylan Roth going in and shooting up a bunch of black folks in the church. And by the way, this white bitch, a feminist, feminists are your enemies. Are any feminists helping you, Jaguar? No. Any feminists speaking up about Diddy? Any feminists talking about human trafficking? Any feminists talking about child and family services? You haven't heard a fucking word from these no good, racist, lesbo-dyke feminists, except for when it's attacking some black man like Bill Cosby.
Do you know how many times I've asked in public, I've asked the media, where is Me Too? Where was Me Too? During this whole Diddy trial, didn't show up. You didn't hear them. They didn't say a word.
Because they with Clive Davis. Okay, and I'm going to just say this to you. Lesbo-dyke commie feminists want women abused and hurt by men because the more women that get ripped and hurt, that's a chance that they'll go to be with women. They don't want shit right between men and women. They want that disrupted. In fact, like I said, the little nasty Jew bitch named Judith Butler, who has the book where she basically says that I think it's called gender trouble or gender problem, whatever the hell it is. Judith Butler, look the bitch up. I'm not lying. The whole feminist movement is to eliminate the concept of man or woman. As Judith Butler will tell you, it's all imagined. You're not really a man, and I'm not real. I'm not really a man, and you're not a woman, Jack. We just imagine we're men and women because we were told. This is just make complete
Do
crazy.
you want to know how crazy that sounds to me?
But that's the basis of feminism, dear. And that's
Wait a
why
minute,
I
though.
just
You wanna
cuss
know
certain
what-
people out. I went off on these niggas from my church. You said you're a feminist.
But see,
Who the fuck is who's Judith Butler? Do you know? So it says, have you ever read these motherfucking holes that you think you're saying you're a feminist? You don't even know what the fuck. Most people don't read shit. And everything is put out in their books explaining that they want people having sex with children. That's why you don't hear the feminists talk about human trafficking, because that's part of the sexual revolution to destroy patriarchy, sexualize children, more pornography, more rape. We want to
which
destroy.
leads us right back to OnlyFans, like I was saying at the beginning of this conversation, with this little girl who's been having grown men stalk her online for years, waiting for her to turn 18 so it's legal for them to look at her. And the truth is, even though she might be 18 on her, she doesn't look a day over 12.
The point is who wants someone over 12, not them. And especially if you've got like a blunt sized penis, a half a blunt, you don't want to deal with the real grown ass woman to have some thrust up in there. I mean, because
She
you know
won't
what?
even notice you were there.
No, that bitch would be laughing at you like you the comedy club. So you want to mess with the child. I mean, at
And
least
a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, well, they got small dicks, and Extends is still on sale, and Viagra risk having a heart attack. I mean, or actually, you got enough money, get your penis enlarged, but why mess with
Let me
kids?
tell you something right now. That whole Dr. Frankenstein, me so I can feel like a man thing, it's terrible. It's terrible. This is the thing that I don't get. Why is it that everyone wants to pretend like none of this stuff is real? And it's right there in our faces. We have people that are masquerading pedophilia every day. We have you see it in the music, in the music videos. It's all right there. It's all right there. And meanwhile, the relationships and the things that they promote are everything that is anti what is real.
Yeah, well, anti what is right. Now, let's go back to Cincinnati because I'm about to clear it up. So, white folk across the country have gone postal because a little white bitch got slapped down and stomped. And for all the videos I've seen where white women have aggressively bothered and violated people's spaces and boundaries, and folks have called the police or hoped the white woman would go away, a lot of the white women who do inappropriate shit saw that bitch get the shit slapped out of her and beat. And their asses are scared because a lot of them don't know how to control themselves. And white folk are scared because black people acted like a mob. That's basically white privilege. We mob, we burn your Wall Streets down, we do stuff. You can't do anything collectively except take it stoically. I can tell you how much force you can use to defend yourself. When it comes to us, we do as much as we want. If I'm a cop, I shoot a person handcuffed because my life is threatened. When those folks beat those people's asses in Cincinnati, it sent a chill through people, and the country's out of control. No, the country isn't out of control. What it's saying is the epoch is changing. There was a point in history where you could do whatever the fuck you wanted to do to black folk anywhere in the world, and there would be not even a pluck back in response. It was just, and if you did pluck back, we'll just burn down the whole town and kill everyone black, like they did in Slocum, Texas, or Palestine, Texas. Someone black got a job over a white person, and you kill 400 people. And we just turn that page in history. It didn't happen. We're white, virtuous Christian people. That's never been true. And what people are afraid of is that the way in which we treat people may ultimately, if I mistreat, if I put my hands, I might lose my life in the wrong. White privilege used to be I could be wrong. We would drive through. I'm a Southerner. The white folks would come through and I'm not that old, come through town at night and honk horns, fuck you niggas, and that, right? What do you mean, do I remember? It happened to my family in 1969. And the folks come by with their guns and curse, and white guys urinate outside the window. This isn't something I saw in a movie. I lived it for a week in the deep rural South. And you're wondering, are you going to get burnt up or lynched or killed because you're not white? And they're mad. And they do this stuff and come by and throw shit at your car, and niggers get out of it. And our cars broke down. Why not help us get the fuck out? We don't want to be around you. Right? And you just did, and it was cool. And everyone knows, hey, let's go bother the niggers from out of town. Let's just go. And there was nothing. I mean, imagine, I'm 4.5 dealing with that, Jag. And folk come by with guns and they're shit, pissing and shit. And niggas will fucking kill you.
My daddy grew up in a lynch town, and he had to listen to most of his family be murdered. It was called Pitch, Georgia. Got upset. White guy got upset. He couldn't read and write. He paid to get a service done, and the man at the general store gave him back his change, and he said, I paid you. You ain't going to say that I cheated you. He said, no, sir, this is your change. And he gave him his change, and he was like, I'm an honest person. I'm not going to rob you just because you don't know how to read and write. And guess what? He went off and started talking about how uppity the niggas over in Pitch, Georgia had become. And then they came back that night, and they
Which county is Pitch, Georgia in?
It was about maybe 2.5 hours north of Augusta. It doesn't even exist anymore. It was so tragic what they did that they wiped it off the map. You can't even find it on a map. The only reason I was able to ever see where my grandmother and grandfather's house was because we took a hike there. My dad could remember, but it's covered under underpass and all of that stuff. Yeah, they totally wiped it because they knew that they were never going to want to have to pay for what they had done. So they just pretended like it wasn't even there.
No, and it's like Lake McNair or Lake Lanier, whichever one or the other. Lanier.
Yeah.
Okay, my family's from that part of Georgia as well. And my grandmother got moved to D.C. so she wouldn't be raped when she was 16. From just north, I have family in Augusta and all in those counties, all around there. Absolutely. And just like my cousin that was about 100 told me this story. If you spoke to a white person, they would beat and stomp you for even saying hello, good morning. You didn't have a right to even speak to a person if they were white. This was the way things have been. Okay, so, right? If a family moved, they don't want to go north. They go down to near Pensacola, not far from Rosewood. Then the family got to get out of Georgia, out of Florida, and go back to Georgia. And let's just get out the South completely, right? Don't go too far north because we're Southern people, right?
Gotta go west.
Well, if you go west, but there's lynching and shit out there too, right? Yeah. So remember Malcolm X's family having the Klan try to burn their house down out in Kansas, or no, he's in Nebraska. And so look, white folk have been on a rampage, terrorizing, and all these people crying over two white folk getting their ass beat, and yet the woman, Miss Massey, gets executed in her kitchen by a cop.
And everyone pretends like that never happened.
Well, no, or all these people that get shot and killed all over the place. And so in reality, the reaction to Cincinnati is what goes around comes around. I'm not advocating it, but I'll tell you, growing up again in Virginia, the people that would not get along with you because you were black, they were at war with you. Black folk need to grow up and understand people are at war with us. And so all the black guys that just have to just sleep with other people and just, kumbaya. If your ass gets killed, that's your problem. For black women, I'm hearing more cases of black women that just think that they've made it, moved on up. They have a white boyfriend, he kills their ass. Hey, And I'm not
A
saying,
lot of that's been going on too.
I'm not saying it's right for anyone to kill you, but if you don't know your damn history, if you don't understand that folks don't necessarily like you, they may hate you, been taught to destroy you by their grandmother and father and all this kind of stuff. Same way I grew up with kids and their parents are teaching them that black people are apes and slaves and hate them and spit on them and so forth. If you don't get that, learn the hard way. But vice versa. There's this generation of black youngsters who don't understand and know any of what's, they think that they're equal, they think that they're free, they think they can go where they want to go.
It's a trap.
You've destroyed the family unit. You've broken all the stuff down. So all the people like me, old niggas like me, who could kind of like be a teacher or whatever, try to like say, hey, look, don't do this. You've removed all that because you want to destroy people culturally. And you've got a group of black youngsters who don't see any of that. You can't swing and hit and call them nigger and then be like me, where you get your head cracked open by white kids and you still go back to school and you sit down and you keep. That ain't how it is. And these folks will come to school with a gun and shoot the teacher and the principal, and it is a trap. However, the Palestinians are proof. You can have the numbers, you can have the weapons, but if you piss the people off, where a critical mass of them are determined to fight, Israel's been broken by maybe 50,000 Palestinians that don't really have much to fight with. Just don't want to kiss your ass, won't kiss your Zionist racist ass. What if 500,000 black Americans said, fuck it then? We can't, you won't let us exist. We can't let's just burn all this shit up. I don't want such a thing.
Know what the problem is? You want to know what the problem is with that? Most of us are so reliant on the system. We wouldn't do it because we don't want to not be in comfort.
Yeah, but the point is that Hamas didn't care. So the folks and the Palestinians were relying on the system too. Don't believe that. They weren't independent in any way. A certain group of people says, I don't care. Bring the whole shit down. I don't want such a thing. I would like for there to be some other way out. But when you have an imperious, there's a thing called the slave power. This is what white people call Southern whites, who were unbearable, and they wanted to treat whites all over the country like they treated their black slaves. This is one of the causes of the Civil War. When you get people who just, everything's got to go their fucking way. I hate everybody, kiss my ass, type A type racist Aryan people. The only thing they're going to understand is someone shooting at them, which is why we had a Civil War. I mean, they don't understand anything else. You can't kumbaya. You can't be nonviolent. They're making and they want this shit. To me, this is a horrific thought of a lot of mass violence. This would just be awful in this country. But there's certain people who want it. So like the guy who has the Turner Diaries, his son has a book, has a video out there. I'll send it to you, Jaguar, where the guy just says his father just taught him to just hate all black people just mindlessly. All of them have to be destroyed. They can't imagine a world in which other people have the right to exist. And they don't care if they burnt up this whole country because they got to hate and hurt the subhumans, us. Well, what happened if people who weren't white said, hey, look, we don't care. Just burn up everything, destroy everything. That somebody wants this. You and I don't want it. But at the same time, I don't want you to call me niggas striking me at a jazz fest. And maybe there are other people that feel like me and you put your hands on folks. What if we acted as a group and said, we're tired of this shit? And this did happen. And that segues to tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the 60th anniversary of the Watts Rebellion in Los Angeles. From August 11th to August 16th, 1965, black folks in LA went postal.
Yeah.
They couldn't take it. And it kicked off literally 7 years of black folks going crazy in cities across the country. All right. I mean, the worst years, 66, 67, god damn. And then 68 with Dr. King being uh, assassinated, and what, riots in like 200 cities, tens of thousands of black folks arrested. Uh, if anything were to happen now, it would be much worse, much
Oh yeah.
uglier. And by the way, quote me, I don't want anybody fighting anyone. I say be defensive when you know folks don't like you. You have the right to protect yourself, have a firearm, get a crossbow or machete, have some kind of shit to protect yourself and your family. Be nonviolent with self and others, but tolerate no bullshit from anyone. That includes subversive, trashy, no good, liar, black scum criminals, or no good traitor, black elite politicians, preachers, anyone that doesn't think that Jag and I have the right to have enough to eat, a safe place to stay, access to healthcare, education, and dignity. Fuck you. And if you cross someone, you deserve to be deterred no matter what skin color or class you are. And a lot of people aren't understanding that this, in fact, a lot of this stuff could stop tomorrow. But like you said, Jack, the black elite are so dependent on the system. We don't have folks who simply could say, cut the shit. And you know what? That whole Justice Department shit, Trump's ass could be spoken to. And I'm not attacking Trump, I'm just saying, we don't show any power, unity, or cohesion around real shit. And that's why certain things happen. That's what also scares people about Ohio, Cincinnati in particular, is that these people acted as a group. Black American unity and mutual self-defense is frightening to people who've been attacking Black Americans for hundreds of years. So we can stop there. Other than, I want to give a shout out to the Black legislator. It's a Black woman down in North Carolina that voted with the Republicans against giving stuff to illegals. Tether Geddon is here. We can feel it in the magosphere. Shout out to you, sister. And to the Black councilwoman in Cincinnati that said that those white folks were begging for an ass whooping, and they got it. And I would say any racist, any supremacist, any stupid Black Pan-Africanist, bootleg, a lot of people are begging for their asses to be beat. And you know, your award for Cell Block Bitch of the Century, your award is in the mail. It's coming. That's off to you, sister. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I mean, Dr. Short, we appreciate anytime you have the time to sit with us and educate us and give us all of the information that we don't. I mean, these are the things that we don't get a chance to talk about on open social media. And you know, I'm going to ask everybody here, the next time we have another sit down, make sure you invite anywhere from 2 to 5 people to come. Mm-hmm. Like, this is information that you're not going to get readily, that they're not going to allow it. Y'all already know how they play. Anytime we say anything real, they're buffering, they're taking it down, they're suspending, they're doing this. We're getting here and we're getting into action. We're talking about the things that need to be discussed because they're not going to let us discuss it, but we still have to share this information.
Anyway.
Like, I need to ask everybody here, how many of you were this privy about what was going on in Cincinnati?
And tell me your link, Jag, because I want to post, read off your link, because I need everybody's. Jaguar, we need to have people coming to your website. Jaguar, let's just talk for a second. Let's do, since I'm a preacher's kid, you know, I should put my robe on and my blessume tie, but Jaguar and wants to do this thing called cruelty-free music and arts and all of that.
Uh-huh.
You need about $7 to $10 million, and you would be good. I'm not saying that anybody here has 7 to 10 million, but if you did, you need to hook up and or get a group of people and bundle that shit. I mean, the illegals could do that. I mean, they don't even know about like deodorant and shit, but they can pool their money. We need to use these as a means to get a critical mass of people. Somebody in there knows about money to get enough money where this shit is done beyond, my man cave basement. When I still haven't done the books up in here. Jaguar needs to do that so people can make music, people can make film. We need that, and it must
we need to be able to create a safe and arc where people and this isn't a color thing either. This is an art thing. Art. Some of our greatest artists come from all different kinds of backgrounds and things of that nature.
Absolutely.
But the problem is they've taken art and they've weaponized it, and they've kept the things that we need out there to promote healthy life, healthy living, good fellowship, positive thought. They've taken all of that and pushed all of it to the side so that they can, spread their homosexual, demonic, just buy a bunch of shit that you don't really need. And we're just going to sit here and keep giving you a bunch of shit while you're dying and you're losing your mind. Like, this is what art has turned into. This is what sports has turned into. If you look at Sha'Carri Richardson, there's something going on with that girl. There's something going on with a lot of our athletes. We're not even paying attention to it. I was just speaking about it yesterday or the day before over at Set in the West. We sat there and we watched Simone Biles literally fall down and have a whole nervous breakdown. Nobody paying attention to the fact that she was also the pedophile doctor, Dr. Nasser. She was one of his clients, and she was molested by him. And guess what? While she was being molested, they were telling her, go out there and get these awards for us. Go out there and get this stuff. Now we got this one girl, and don't get me wrong, talented, track and field, fast as hell. But every time you turn around, she's in the news. She's fighting on her boyfriend. She's getting caught doing drugs. She's doing this. She's doing that. Like, we're not looking at how we don't have anywhere else to go. When I walked away from the industry, because I realized they were never going to let anything real, positive, anything that exhibited God live. It wasn't going to happen. They were going to sit there and they were going to break you down and break you down and break you down and break you down. And even if they let you do a little bit of it, the agreement is you have to turn your head to everything terrible that they're doing and not say a word. There are so many artists that I care for, but I do not understand how they can stay in that system, knowing everything that's happening around, knowing everything that's going on around. We need to be able to create a construct that doesn't require money from the system or money from the government to exist. And the truth is, that's part of the reason why they fight so hard. That's why they took Dr. Short's Cash App. That's why they came after my Cash App. That's why they
cut your Cash App too?
Yeah.
And they hacked my bank card yesterday, the day before. So it's a third time in 2.5 weeks. So I have to keep getting bank cards replaced. And I've had people call me complaining, how do we give? So you got to have a Give, Send, Go, Jag. I got one. Get a Give, Send, Go, and do whatever you have to. But you need millions, at least a few million to start, kick it off.
Well, this is the thing, to be able to have an independent, privately ran construct where it was community driven. If you can get 1 million people to sign up, all of these young artists, all of these people, they would be able to create in their own space, safe, not having to prostitute themselves. You know what? If they want to play a big venue, they'd be able to make the money to do it, because that's the whole point of cruelty-free artistry. It's not to create a space where we're making all the money off of it and only giving the artist. No, we create the construct. Everyone pays into keeping it up and running. Of course, there's going to be salaries for people working in marketing, working in the tech department, working in all of that. But once all of that is done, the entire goal is to allow the artists to keep their money.
Right.
See, this is why they had a problem with Tory Lanez. This is why they had a problem with Sam Cooke. Anytime we've tried to create a construct,
They had that
our
problem with
people-
James Brown. Do you know, when I was talking to Big Mama, she was saying that James Brown was forced to take the words, and it's a man's world. It said you wouldn't be one thing without a black woman or a black girl, that he had to take those words out
Yeah.
of the song. We can't. And it's interesting. It's the same way when Ebony had the Black Jesus on the cover. Black folks threatened to cancel. Black churches all over America threatened Mr. Johnson. How dare you have a black image of Jesus?
Which is funny.
And we'll
Because
shut.
he is black. Because yes, he was black.
We'll shut you down if you put another black. Have you lost? People were threatening to kill the people at Ebony, telling people the devil. The people were scared. That's the only retraction that I'm aware of.
Do you want to know what Kanye West actually said not long ago that he finally admitted?
What?
That the Rock Nation contract has a clause in it that if you
mention, yeah, I saw that,
Yeshua or God or anything in it, you can't be signed to their label if you talk about that. That's like, this is insane.
No, it's not insane. As I was saying to the brother, because I'm not boasting, but the ultimate thing that people put before me to get my degree at Harvard was to denounce the Bible. And told this really happened to me. I have to repudiate the Bible and all of that, basically denounce God for their damn degree. And I told the person, says, you guys, I already knew you hated me for being black. I got that. Okay, I'm used to that. Now you're asking me to curse God. I'm going to curse God
so that you can have Harvard on your back. It's the same.
No, I told him, you can keep it. I don't fucking want it. Okay, I shocked his ass. I says, I really don't like you people that much anyway. I just don't like you. You hate my God. You hate my people. You hate me for being Pentecostal, apostolic. We don't have anything that brings, and I told them Harvard's just a debt for me to pay. That's it. This is a debt. I don't see what I've done. To hell with you. And I told them the scriptures say, if you denounce Jesus Christ before man, Jesus Christ will denounce you before God the Father.
Exactly.
So I told him, white man, you're not worth going to hell for. Okay? Keep your damn degree. And we sat for maybe a half an hour. They were waiting for me to reconsider.
Yeah.
Reconsider what? Fuck you. No, I don't really give a damn about you. And it half killed the man. They see, I had done some stuff in school, had repudiated these people around racism, and they basically wanted to say, we got short to denounce God. He's like everybody else. No, I can't imagine life without God. And for these people, after hundreds of years of shit that has been done to our families in Georgia, and I denounce God for this devil? Keep the fucking degree. Keep it.
No, but that's what they want.
99.99% of black folks would have sucked ass.
Yeah.
And they would have said, but I got the thing. And my point is, it says, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Black Americans, what does it profit you to get that white pat on the ass and the acceptance, and you've lost your soul? And we've lost our souls, and we need to get our goddamn souls back. And you can't get it back sucking the ass of the enemy like it's a soft serve machine at McDonald's. You really have to tell people to go to hell. And the China's strong because China told America, fuck off. Okay. Other countries and other people learn how to tell people to go to hell. I'm not going to kiss your ass. I know you've got guns. I know you got nukes. You hate me and I'm outnumbered. Fuck you anyhow. This is what Hamas, I don't agree with a whole bunch of shit that Hamas is on. I'm not a Muslim. But I do say hats off to telling people who don't like, who've mistreated you, that you will not kiss their ass.
Yeah.
This is the kind of leadership of movement we don't have, especially all the Black Greeks and the Freemasonry and all that Black. We don't have one entity that has any presence amongst us that doesn't bow down and kiss the penis of Luciferian white supremacy. In fact, they suck it down to the nuts on the statue, probably lick the backside of the balls, and probably have some religious experience. That's sad. This is why your ass ain't free. You don't believe. I meet people who go to church, and church is spelled a lot like crutch. They don't believe in no all-powerful God. They don't believe in that. They believe in the people who've dogged and molested and raped you, and you want to be just like them and yet repudiate them. You've become what you've beheld. And that's the sickness.
That's how it works.
Oh, well, not for everybody. Not for everybody. Some people say to hell.
Not for everybody, but for a lot of us. Look at the Diddy trial. What has it taught us? It's taught us exactly what I've been saying, that they're going to keep screwing you over. Nothing's going to change. They're going to keep doing it. So we got to figure our own way. We can't sit here and wait for the system, because the system ain't never.
No, the system is perpetrated. The system is perpetrated on destroying your humanity. This is what this book is talking about. We've got to keep and destroy the humanity of these Black slaves for our money. And we're still the money of this empire. And as long as we're willing to be commodities, basically sexual pork bellies and corn futures, or porn futures for the little 18-year-old, then it's like that. Okay. And by the way, they got the 6 people from Cincinnati that didn't kill anyone. They're probably gonna give those folks 100 years for a slap and a beat down.
Short, as much as we've been enjoying and waiting.
Oh, it's time up
for this part 2. Yeah, we have to get ready to go.
That's okay.
One of our hosts has to wrap everything up.
Okay, right. Well, thank you for treating me right.
Oh, please.
And we'll do this again.
Yes, we will do it again. And like I said to everybody here, this is not information that we can talk about openly on most social media. They run us off, they shut us down. So please remember, tell somebody who's interested in having these real conversations with us to come over here so we can talk about it.
And we need some investors. We want a Black media. Bill Cosby tried to do it. They killed his son, my cousin. Why can't we try it on a different level? Somebody out there knows somebody with some. Everybody Black ain't broke. We aren't panhandling. Okay, Jag, give me your link for your website so I can type this up here.
It's just thejaguarright.com.
B-E?
No, THE.
Okay.
JAGUARWRIGHT. .com.
Okay. Yeah, get involved. Give some money. I mean, pop our asses for the right people for the first time. Okay, I'm done. All right, you popped your pussy. Pop it for something good. Pop your ass, bust a nut with dollars. Make it rain, okay? All right. I'll let y'all go. Bye-bye.
Love you so much.
Love you
I
too.
want to thank everybody who's here. We'll see you guys in our normal formats, but please don't forget, tell somebody, tell a friend to tell a friend. This is what we do. We'll make sure everyone knows the next time we're here. And on that note, we're out. Peace.
Peace.
Recording. Stop.
Okay, guys. So, hey, folks, I need to check on my mama, but I got to read some of this goddamn book to y'all. This is too good. This is like, damn, this is incredible. The Road to Disunion. if I just read some of this shit in chapter 5, the stuff that people are on about them re-enslaving black people, and damn, it just goes on and on and on. This dude just went through and got all the stuff out the archives and justified all the stuff, and white folk killing each other and hating each other, and how President Buchanan got involved in the Dred Scott case, where they did that, blacks can't be citizens, to help a presidential candidacy of a person that's ass was no good. Oh my God. And these people are going into other countries trying to recreate Black American slavery. All these tethers have no idea what our asses saved them from. Real talk. The Black struggle here has been saving people's asses before we had the chains off our damn ankles. I want you guys to know we'll be doing, it's been a while, but we're going to be doing an Angry Black Men's Book Club thing tonight. Didn't do Salt the other day. Just want to shout out, please pray for a lot of my friends. My friend lost his father, Mr. Booker T. Moore, 98 years and 10 months, died yesterday. And just want to be available to family when folks are sick or ill. I want y'all to tell everybody I'm coming back in. It's 4:18 my time. I'm going to check on moms, and I'm thinking I'm going to be back up on here, but I got to read some of this crazy shit to y'all I've been listening to on Audible. This, if you have an Audible account on Amazon, this is free. Listen to this shit. It's, anyone tell you that slavery ain't about black people and it's not about hating black people? In their own words, it was and it is. I hope you enjoyed our sharing with Jaguar. There are going to be more. Oh my God, people. I just had a crazy ass month last July, and people attacking your money, attacking your bank, my mom getting sicker, the air conditioner breaking. You just name it. It's been crazy. And but we're back on. Can't wait. Keep your heads up, and we'll be talking about Tethergeddon and other things. So hi to everybody, Sister Devin, all the moderators. We're going to be back on. I'm going to try to do a reading at about, it's 4:19. Let me give myself a little bit of time, and we'll come back and spend a few hours together. And I want to let everybody know, you don't need an app to send via Give, Send, Go. So if you don't have Cash App, you can send via Give, Send, Go. My Give, Send, Go is, let me see. I'm going to just put the link up for the Give, Send, Go. And I think this is how you find me. Let me get the title to it. I'll give you the title for it. Give me 1 second. Nobody has contributed, but if you can't hit me through Cash App, now you know. Now you know. So here's how it goes. Hold on, let me take this down. I'll give you a couple of this. Let me stop this. Pull this shit off. I'm going to do it this way. Oh, 1 second. Here it is. If you're in Give, Send, Go, This is how it goes. It's called the DrRandyShort Media Project. Therefore, if you tried to Cash App me and you could not Cash App me because they shut the accounts and they accused me of illegal gambling, I've had Cash App for a year. All of a sudden, I started gambling. And it's happening to all of your Black social media contact creators. It's Jaguar. You can even be a coon. Roland Martin had his taken down. They're attacking everyone. They're trying to silence us. If you want us to stay in business, not that, you know what, they've shut off donations to me for 3 weeks? Tomorrow it'll be a month. And I've still done stuff, right? So it's not like, oh, I got to have money or I won't speak. Nope. But it's nice to have resources because I pay $100 a month just to have my StreamYard so I can have all the shit saved. And I've got to download all this stuff off here before they take it from me. So the DrRandyShort Media Project is one way that you can do that. And it can be small. It can be 2, 3, 4. You can do stuff through Patreon. You can do stuff through Cash App. No, not Cash App. Patreon, PayPal, Venmo, and Zelle. And understand, even in that, as I speak to you, I have to get, both of my accounts have been hacked. I have to wait to get new bank cards because someone has consistently attacked my account. Oh, it's not like I have a lot of money. They just keep trying to take my account out. Thank you. I love folk back too. So obviously, for the people who don't want you to hear what I'm talking about, money is everything to them, which is why they're attacking your bank, like banks, and attacking that. So clearly someone is trying to break whatever money or whatever, create financial problems for me because they want me to stop. Well, I've continued to do this when a lot of shit dried up. Thank you for all the folks that PayPal. A few did, most did not. A few did Zelle, most did not. But Give, Send, Go, you can do without an app. And I may even reload, what's this thing called? GoFundMe. I will do that as well. I would just get around what Cash App did. But Cash App wants to break me and my ass. Sister Star, one of those people that always help me through Cash App. Yes, Sister Star, they are trying to gang rape me. So wow, hitting my bank, attacking my banks 3 times in less than a month, attacking the Cash App. There was an attack on the Zelle. Someone has actually tried to send me via the mail, and mail has disappeared. So it happens. I'm not complaining. Like I said, I'm going to just keep doing it. I mean, hell, you don't know how long you're going to live. And when you get to my age where everybody's watching your parents and aunts and uncles and everybody die, shoot, do it while you can. And unless somebody's knocking my ass upside the head, and if I feel well enough to do it, I will be out here doing this as often as I can. I do have strong enemies, but I got God for me. If God's for you, who can be against you? Sister Star, you will be definitely Sister Star. Email me because we got to strategize how to get the Give, Send, Go around to people, and as well figure out how to I will put together GoFundMe today, and that will just be for the book club, so it's just ongoing. because it wasn't like people were sending millions of dollars, but small things helped do stuff. It just did. And this is ridiculous for them to bother to mess with, to to harass. And by the way, you know what? Even if I start a GoFundMe today, I can't. I have to wait for my bank cards to come for me to be able to move. Well, I have to see. Maybe it can go straight to my checking account. But imagine that. And they almost messed up my account. That they were doing stuff that zeroed out. I'm sorry, let me clarify. They practically zeroed out one of my accounts with people putting bogus charges on it. So imagine 3 bank cards, an account zeroed out. I had to go and fight the bank about that. All of these attacks. You would think I had 10 or 100,000 followers that I did this. I went hard every day like Black Alpha did, which I don't. I'm not picking. I love what the people do it every day. I don't have the stamina at this moment, but people don't like this. People don't like it. And it means it's for your benefit. If people hate what I'm doing, it means I'm doing what's right. There's all this rebellion and activism, then why not rebel against this? Rebel against the people that want to silence me and people that at least share ideas in common with me. Let me stop here. I'm going to get up off of here, and I'm going to be back in a little bit. Okay, so again, if you want to help out, which you can, there is a Give, Send, Go, which is the Dr. Randy Short Media Project, where you can do a Give, Send, Go. You can do Patreon, Dr. Randy Short. You can do Venmo, Dr. Randy Short. You can do Zelle and or PayPal, which is wrandyshort@gmail.com. If you want to send me an email message, you can at wrandyshort@gmail.com. Even if you just want to encourage. El Negro Hotep, you'll love this. Again, so Zelle, PayPal is wrandyshort@gmail.com. There's the Give, Send, Go, which is a Dr. Randy Short Media Project. There is Dr. Randy Short and Patreon and Dr. Randy Short and Venmo. Do what you can when you can. And when you can't, you don't. Share the videos. In particular, give this to people that you think won't like them. I love hearing when folks are angry by me telling the truth. I get my jollies off to people who like lies. Really, liars. I mean, I love to see a liar lose it. That's a lot of fun. I used to debate, and it'd be a lot of fun to see somebody that's a liar get their ass beat and they're having a meltdown. I don't know. That's my nature. If you're a liar, you and me are not going to get along. And it's nothing I enjoy more than seeing a liar or a racist have a difficult mental time upstairs. Not enough of us are doing that kind of work. Or a self-hating coon. Okay, so I'm going to come back within 2 hours. And I'm going to be reading from this book, The Road to Disunion. There's so much to enjoy about racism, slavery, how grimy and nasty these people are, and how the language now is very similar to what you're hearing on Fox News and everywhere else. Nothing's changed, just we imagine that we're free. We ain't free, people. And we ain't gonna get free until we start like standing up and working together. Hi, Sister Brooke. So let me sign off for now. Treat me white. Come back and share the videos. And I want to thank all of you that have been looking at the videos. My traffic has picked up. It used to be once I did a video, nobody looked at it again. Now people beginning to go back and look at them because we are saying real things. There are jokes, but there's real stories too. Okay? All right. Take care. MFM, everybody. We need our MFM. God bless, love, peace, unity, love self, love others. Hate isn't the answer, but part of love is protecting yourself from people who will not respect you or respect your boundaries. I don't care who it is. God is real. God is love. Turn to God. You need Him, whether you want to hear it or not. I know it's so unpopular with fake ass black people. There's something to this Jesus shit. It works. Just because you were dealing with a liar, pedophile, preacher, whatever, doesn't mean God isn't real. God isn't a person or a being that you can compare to bad stuff that's happened to you. Grow a pair of spiritual nuts or tits and understand that this God stuff is needed. You need God. You need it. You don't know, who a Nazi want to just blow up the whole block you live on. What's keeping our black asses from all getting wiped out by these people who hate us completely, other than the hand of God? And it ain't nobody black we look up to, because they won't bust a grape for us. Let me get out of here. I'll be back. Bye-bye.